Hi! Good afternoon, or morning, or evening, whatever time it is for you. For me, I'm in a weird transitional time between afternoon and evening, and I don't know quite how to classify it. At 4:30 p.m. How's it been? Long time no see. If you're one of the 3,000 people that has been subscribed to me, kudos to you for clicking on this video. Leave a comment, tell me what you've been doing, what you've been up to since I stopped posting entertainment content in about 2017, 2018. Tell me how you've changed, because I know you've changed, I've changed, the whole world has changed since we last really connected. How's the new era treating you? For myself, I'm doing fine right now. There was a bit of a rough one after 2020. This video is about where I've been, how I've changed, and what I would like to do. Maybe a little bit of reminiscing about the past. We'll see how that goes. Remember Art Club? Remember my arcade series? That was one of my favorite times. Now let's discuss where I've been. In 2016, I graduated high school. Also in 2016, all my friends moved far, far away, with the exception of one, and that one is my current boyfriend. We started Art Club together, which was a fun little series similar to Drawfee, if you've ever seen it, but with a larger focus on community challenges and submissions, and it started up on VidMe, back when that still existed. And the whole premise back then was we would create a challenge, we would draw for it, and then we would post it out. And we had a Discord just for it where people would post their kind of responses to the challenge, and then we would share all of that in the next video along with the next thing that we were doing. And it was a really fun, cool thing. I really enjoyed it a lot. But then VidMe died, and VidMe was kind of a really big part of that. That's where I built the following there, and I was in pretty close touch with the people running VidMe, so it was kind of a big deal for me. I was one of their higher up creators. It was really awesome. And so the death of VidMe actually is in large part why this whole channel kind of died for a little while, though there is a lot more to it than that, and I'd like to get into what happened. There are two specific moments that I credit with kind of destroying this channel. First, I went to college to learn animation, which if you had been following me for a while, you'd understand I had been doing and was really looking forward to learning more about and doing more of. I ended up learning how to make games, and that was a huge undertaking and took up much of my time. The second big kind of thing that sort of killed the channel is a game called Mighty Number 9, and you've probably heard of it. And here's the thing is, I know it sounds dumb, but I ended up writing an 11-page script that became a full-fledged documentary about Keiji Inafune and how Concept kind of came to be, how it collapsed, how it probably killed Mega Man Legends, and just so much more. And I don't know how I got so hooked on it, but I couldn't let it go. I'm not very good at talking for long periods about something that I don't like. So the fact that this kept getting longer kept going deeper and deeper into ruining my ability to make videos. Eventually, it got me to not like making videos at all. It even got me to stop playing games, and I just couldn't bear to give any more of my limited time to the medium that I no longer liked, which was video making. And on top of all of that, there was a whole other issue, a long-developing identity crisis. In all my videos, I felt that my opinions were more that of a character I was playing.
Man, I love it when I can post these videos. I like how clean everything is. The audio quality, all the visuals, me. Oh, I love me.
Not informed by any sense of self, which is interesting because I look back and I see the me in there. A lot of times, one of my favorite videos from the era before I completely killed the channel was my Steep video.
What if I don't like snowboarding? I'm a skier and skiing is my passion, but snowboarding just can't hold my interest. Well then, boy do I have news for you! Steep has a handful of winter sports. Not quite a myriad, but I'll get to that. It's got skiing, it's got snowboarding, it's got paragliding, wingsuit gliding, even gosh diggity darn dang hiking.
I think it might have even been one of my last videos. It was absolutely, to me, one of my favorites. But yeah, I felt like I had no sense of self. YouTube at the time was just filled with lots of negativity. 2016, 17, 18. I could only conceive of more negativity, but that doesn't work with the way my brain operates. I can't understand that kind of negativity. My whole time throughout college, I still wanted to make videos, but I wanted them to be higher quality than ever. Eventually, around 2020, the vibes kind of changed. You want to create relaxing content for those stuck at home. And from around that period, not quite in 2020, but from around that period comes my Unity UI Toolkit tutorial video, which, though maybe a little dated now, is still one of few videos that I think explains really well to even like a beginner, like, hey, here's how you can make this work for you. If you've seen that video, you'll note I really tried to make it into a really comforting walkthrough while also being maybe a little entertaining as well, and kind of trying to teach you about some coding concepts that you probably might not have known, or at least if you're a game developer and not like a hardcore like programmer, because I'm not, and you can tell absolutely if you watch that video too, there are things that I could have done to make it better, to make the code a lot easier to write, that I learned about later because I'm not very good at abstracting things. You'll also know I ground some coffee beans in that video with the world's second worst coffee grinder. Do not worry, I currently have a hand-cranked bird grinder. Thank you, Comets, for letting me know there's more to coffee than just what people buy you for Christmas. Unfortunately, still at this time, I didn't really have a sense of self. I was thinking about how I want other people to see the character I was creating, as opposed to just how to present myself. I mean, I still wasn't even comfortable sharing my name. At the time, I started going by Kukanova. Maybe I used my legal name somewhere in there, but if so, it was purely out of obligation to myself, to make myself do it, and not because I was very comfortable with it. Another issue was during this time, I was driven almost exclusively by the need to meet deadlines. That video was completed because my coursework in school required me to have something to show in the game that I had featured in the video, which I later published called Spaces Aces. You can play it on itch.io. It's more of a demo than anything, but you can get a full little experience out of it. I made all the music and sounds, and I had some friends help with some of the models and effects. I created that UI video alongside myself learning how to use that new UI toolkit as kind of a part of my coursework. But I did enjoy creating that. I enjoyed that process, but as soon as there were no deadlines tied to it, I couldn't do it. All my time, mentally, I feel like, has to be spent on something with a deadline or something that'll make my life better, and that didn't seem like it to me. All this comes down to me figuring out, eventually, I have ADHD. And I began suspecting that I had ADHD in 2020 when school from home meant not really paying attention to classes and completing my assignments in the last moments possible. I got on the waiting list at my school for a test and a possible diagnosis in 2021, and would you know it, half a year after I graduated in 2022, they text me telling me that there's still people on the list ahead of me. Do you still want to be on the list? To which I informed them I now lived in a state far, far away for the last 6 months. And they took me off the list. And at that time, I was reminded of the whole ADHD problem and how much that had been bugging me. And I created a resolution for the next year, 2023. I will make strides in my mental health by making it my #1 priority and investment throughout the whole year. And by the end of January, I had a diagnosis and I started treatment, a little dopamine pill. And that changed my life, allowing me to balance the chemistry in my brain and think clearly for the first time. What I found was an identity crisis. This thing I'd been feeling and had been messing with my ability to do the things I wanted to do for a while. I couldn't quite see because I couldn't quite just think on my own. I had noticed that I had been performing a character, not just on the videos, but in my life. I had no sense of self. I was nothing more than a mirror of those around me, having no thoughts that I can formulate on my own. And so I'm there, in a huge creative block, with a head full of meaningless noise that I was finally getting the opportunity to just clear out and focus on getting rid of. And through that noise, I began to find that person hiding somewhere deep inside me that actually had things to say and a unique perspective in the world. And I let her out finally. And immediately from that moment on, the person I was before ceased to be. It's as if that person died. I began to see the world not as others told me to, but just as I saw it, as all the potential that is in the world and what can be done with it. It became a much more interesting and beautiful place to be in. I became smarter, more capable, and I began to understand scientific concepts I couldn't fathom even just a year earlier. And today I'm just fascinated with topics such as like cosmology and our understanding of space-time, how it came to be in its largest structures, and quantum mechanics, those very building blocks of the universe, and how the smallest pieces come together to create everything that is. I learned a lot more even about computers, despite, going to school to learn a lot more about computers and science. I picked up almost nothing, it feels like. I left just as confused as when I went in, and it's because my brain wasn't in the right place. I was collecting all this knowledge, but it wasn't getting connected to some self that could process it all. I just had the knowledge there. I could recite to you what something was, but I couldn't understand how all these rocks come together to create bits, and you can run a current through it and make stuff happen. You can keep track of time, tell a computer how long 1 second is using a quartz crystal and a current flowing through it. It's insane. That stuff just flew over my head. The way that all this works, I didn't even care about. It was all just nothing to me. It's such a bizarre, strange feeling because I know I was thinking critically, but I just have no recollection of being a person that could do that. It's a very, very strange feeling. But I now understand myself as a piece of a living and changing universe with perplexing physics and inherent forces that we've learned to control through the scientific process that has allowed us to live in a society that, even as far as just one full lifetime ago, would appear magical. Just instead of wizards locked away in towers studying mysterious forces of reality and creating glowing spheres of fireless light to light their homes or casting lightning at their foes, we have scientists locked away in labs studying the mysterious forces of the universe, electricity, breaking apart the reality we live in to its fundamental pieces, studying it, performing the transmutation of elements regularly to acquire rare earth metals and other elements for the use of their specific properties, of which the majority of us know and have charted down on periodic tables. We have the ability to transmute lead into gold if we so desired, even though, we don't desire. We can create from a small container city-melting explosions, and have lived with the fear of that for the last almost 100 years of human existence. Our homes are powered by the mysterious electromagnetic force, sourced from a far-off power plant you don't even have to think about, that performs a strange ritual to give us that electricity, notably moving copper through an electromagnetic field. I say mysterious, we obviously know a lot about this process, but there's still much that we don't know, and our universe overall is still very much a mystery. We just recently discovered the expansion of the universe isn't uniform like we expected, or at least probably isn't uniform like we expected, which is really interesting. The cosmological constant may not be a constant, and I've been thrilled to awaken into this beautiful, interesting world over the last year. Though I'm aware we have a lot to do in terms of communicating the power of science, and that this isn't magic. There are consequences and equal and opposite reactions to everything, and most of us know and are feeling in our lifetimes the effects of climate change. Yeah, I've changed though, and way for the better. Like, it is insane how much of a me has come to be. And there's also some drawbacks. I have huge gaps in my memory and a sense of lost time from when the person who I am today wasn't allowed to actually experience the world. And I looked into this, and from what I've gathered, I need to make new connections to those memories to kind of unlock them, I guess. I need to experience something connected to them as I am today for me to feel like they're my own and actually register these things I've done in the past. That's all a bit of a tangent to say I'm awake and aware now. I've missed a lot over the 10s and early 20s, but I'm here now, and I want to say, hi, I'm Autumn. Kukanova if you'd like. Autumn in 3D sometimes. I create stuff for fun, post it to YouTube to show and discuss with others. Now you know where I've been. Tell me what you've been up to since, I guess, 2018 is absolutely the latest that I posted like an entertainment video. Tell me what you've been up to. Want to reminisce with me for a little bit about the stuff I used to do on YouTube? Way back in the dark ages of 2012, when Gangnam Style was all the rage, I started a YouTube channel. I recorded my first video while hiding under my bed using my brother's abandoned laptop, which I repaired by kinda just opening up and cleaning the inside. I created Welcome to My World, an uninteresting video where a child in the 8th grade walks through the Minecraft world they'd been building for a little while with some friends.
Hello everybody, this is an RP of Active, not with anyone, playing Minecraft.
The background noise from the laptop's poor fan blaring over the laptop's microphone that was absolutely not made to run Minecraft and record audio at the same time. And what's funny is, at one point, my hands start swinging uncontrollably in the video for no reason.
Never mind. Oops. My hand was swinging uncontrollably.
I remember the laptop would sometimes just not register the end of a click, only just the beginning, so maybe it got stuck. I don't remember what happened. Also, I was playing on the touchpad. I remember being terrified that anyone would hear me recording the video, that anyone at my school would ever find the video, and really that anyone would ever see it at all. Weird, right? But I still wanted to put content out there. Just made all the time in Minecraft feel very worth it when I did. So I devised a character by the name of Adam, a persona which I used and modified over the years all the way up until 2018. A way to put someone out there without having to associate it very heavily with myself. What's funny is watching the video back, it's incredible to see how the character acts like they don't really care about anything at all, almost as if it's embarrassing to give a shit.
Where it all started. Me and the other guy, me and the other guy on this map found this valley. We thought it looked nice, so we came and started building in it. That bridge, I built a random bridge that led to nowhere. That needs to get removed. That needs to be removed. That also needs to be removed. It needs to be day.
Compared to now, where I'll spend easily a whole year writing an 11-page script on Mighty Number 9, a thing that I don't like, just because I'm trying to make it a very quality, informative piece of something. Even this video right now, I was going to spend no more than 10 minutes just recording a quick video, and instead, I've ended up writing a script because just winging it didn't really sound clear enough.
This right here is the community test chamber. People would come inside, and they could pretty much do whatever they want here. So that's cool.
Now it's the next day, by the way, and it actually is morning, so my little note at the beginning isn't accurate, but that's how long it's taken me to actually make this. But that's the real me. I care a lot, sometimes about things that no one else would notice. I love creating cool experiences, and that's something that I remembered watching that first video again. Like, I don't explain that I created the texture pack I'm using until like way later, and it's just kind of an afterthought, or how I created the server itself and learned port forwarding so I can make it easily accessible so that my friends could just play the game whenever they wanted and just have a positive experience. We even built an airship and used a plugin to fly and control the ship.
Well, we did have a giant airship thing in here. We kind of flew it off using the plugin we had.
So that we could explain how we got to another realm that we got from another plugin, which was basically the Aether mod, but multiplayer, and had a whole role-playing adventure where we took down an evil entity that wanted to destroy everything in the server. And I used all of the admin capabilities that I had in the server to make that character kind of come to life and just make this storyline play out. Instead of talking about all that and showing off the cool things that I had done, I immediately just talk about things that need to be fixed.
That bridge, I built a random bridge that led to nowhere. That needs to get removed. That needs to be removed. That also needs to be removed.
I walk by this impressive bridge I built, and my only response to it is, yeah, that needs to be fixed. I mention the airship casually and brush it off like it doesn't, like yeah, but no biggie, no biggie. Nothing I ever did was cool or important or special. I have this huge reluctance to talk about or relate anything that I do to anything that is positive, despite inside wanting to go, look at this thing that I like, look at this thing that I did, look at that, look at that, look at this. I want to just talk about things. My little robot brain comes out though and starts to fall into these little fixated bits of my brain that suddenly I don't care. Weird. I think honestly I shouldn't be even recording this. It's broken. Should just be removed, should just be fixed. Watching through this has been fascinating from both understanding my own psychology and just even like a history of Minecraft perspective. There's so much that is possible in that game, and especially in that era, it just felt so mysterious. No game had let me be that open before. It's fascinating how I go from showing off stores in a mini mall to exploring a non-functional slime generator.
This leads to our underground mini mall, which we will be getting to shortly. Here it is. Oh, don't change my sign. Right, I have a doorbell. And here we just pretty much sell furniture, like my table, beds, and my gameplay. Someone please tell me why that's happening. Let's see if my slime center is working. We've only seen like 3 slimes our whole lives here, and it's not. No slime. I think I need to expand this a little bit more.
To jumping into a crevice to show off the trial of fire?
Looks like someone broke this off. Oh, didn't make the jump. Oh, forgot the most important thing. The rules. The earthquake, which I discovered, or giant crevice I discovered, which I say was caused by an earthquake. It's gonna take some time. Oh, in here, we had 3 trials. The trial of, I don't know what the first one. Then the trial of fire and the trial of water. Then you just kind of hop over this lava, which I'm not gonna do with all this crazy light I have going on. But they did.
To then just casually mentioning the airship. There was a lot going on in my little mind, and it was all just for creating this experience that was this world. And ultimately, that theme of creating an experience is the main kind of theme that's stuck with me forever.
Lava, please. Yeah, you burn, skeleton. That's what you get. Maybe it's not lava proof.
Art Club was meant to invite a community into a fun little weekly drawing challenge where we could create and experience something new together, regularly. It was fun. My arcade series was designed to feel like a unique experience with all the animation and music that I wrote for it. Even my tutorial was intended to be more than a tutorial, just a relaxing and comforting experience to watch. In the post-COVID world, a lot of people are at home and they want to do something, and really computers are the only way that they had to do anything. So people were learning game development and programming for the first time, and here I am offering insight into this new package that Unity is offering. Watching that silly old first video of mine has been quite enlightening to me in ways I didn't expect. I fully hadn't planned on watching the video, but I'm glad I did. Like, wow. I can relate a little more to like how I got to be where I am today in all the negative and positive ways that I am from just that one really old video. That all got me thinking. I wanted to watch some other videos of mine from different time periods, and none of these are available anymore. I actually might make one of them available because I found it to be actually very fun. My arcade video for the game Steep, the snowboarding and winter sports game. I had so much fun making that video, and watching it again, it was one of the best things I've created. I can't believe it. I laughed. I enjoyed just the production value of it. It's a little bit silly. I'm still playing that character. This kind of self-absorbed, like I said, the character evolves. So it's kind of this self-absorbed, a little bit way over the top.
It's me! Oh, I love me!
But I was starting to get to express myself in a way that I felt was fun and exciting. And here I am now, 6 years later, I think? I just spent a whole year just focusing on figuring out what was going on in my brain just so that I could finally start to create things again. That's all to say. I'm back. Hello. My name is Autumn. The character from before is no more, and instead I'm just gonna be kinda doing stuff again. I want to make that arcade series again, to be honest. Having a video that I watched and actually enjoyed was really positive for me. That Steep video actually helped me understand a lot more about myself today, even, and what I want to do and what I enjoy. So get ready, I plan to make some content. We'll see how it goes. It might not be very good at first because I don't remember how to make videos. I have to do it before I can remember and get good at it again. It's been like that for everything. Art, animation, I've had to relearn how to enjoy my life, but I'm glad I'm doing it.
Steep introduces this G-force system where experiencing a certain amount of G's automatically makes you fall, and experiencing way too much automatically kills your character. Like, straight dead.
See you all soon. Bye-bye. Toodles. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something else I've discovered recently that didn't really pop up in the video is I'm likely autistic. 1 in 2 people are on the spectrum. It's not uncommon, but I have a lot of anxieties and people not understanding me and me not understanding people, and I don't process emotions quite normally either. All this stuff kind of just gets in the way, and I'm working on figuring it out, but I don't want to lose little bits of what makes me interesting to people. Folks like having me around. Alright, see ya.
We'll go into the video making a bit later. Just know that the spot-on animation is super sexy. Despite the cold, it's straight up Kugelblitz. Paragliding is nice. Not my favorite, not really anybody's favorite, but very relaxing and great for traveling the world and discovering new places. You can also do some neat tricks. Anytime I see jagged rocks, I get that feeling, that rush. I get that feeling like I just need to dive bomb right into them and die. Over and over and over and over again. It's a lot of fun, believe it or not. And while I'm diving into them, I find little cracks to fly through and create really tough challenges for my group members to try out. Now stop right there! We need to take a look into the replay system of Steep. I'm going to just sit back now. I'm going to show you how beautiful it can be. You have an Explorer camera, a GoPro mode, fixed cameras, follow cameras, anything you need to make a realistic looking video. Everything you create looks like something out of a winter sports documentary or a Red Bull sponsored event or something. Seriously, this is one of the selling points of the game and is very much worth looking into if you're big about video editing.